I have an idea of perfection. The perfect swing of the club or bat, the perfect form on the free throw line, that perfectly placed spiral football, and especially those perfect grill marks on a high-quality cut of locally sourced prime beef. It takes lots of time to perfect quality, but a quick, simple call or message to Tucker Family Beef can put locally born, raised, fed, and processed beef in your family's freezer so you can practice and perfect those satisfying grill marks. Give Monty Tucker a call at Tucker Family Beef, 580-515-4477.
If you build it, he will.
It's the Skinny on Sports Podcast with Aaron Cowk.
I throw balls far. You want good words? Data language.
Talk real sports with a real man.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
And now, here's the be-all, end-all, know-it-all of high school, college, and pro sports. Aaron Skinny Cowk with the Skinny on Sports.
We're talking about practice, man. I'm the MVP.
Good Wednesday morning out there, Western Oklahoma. Welcome to the Skinny on Sports right here on 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal. Glad to have you along for the next hour. On a scale of 1 to 10, Jared, how thundered up are you?
Pretty good.
Are you pretty thundered up?
I've been thinking about this for a little bit. I'm excited to watch meaningful basketball for a team we root for.
So finals.
From a team we root for.
If the NBA Finals in 2012 was a 10,
oh well.
Are you 6,
I'm
7?
I'm not a 10. I'm planning my evening around
but
it.
you are.
That.
So that has to be like a 7 at least.
Yeah. It's very, very north of 5. So it's 7.5. 7.5.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah, it's cool.
And the needle will move a little higher if they can get a W tonight.
Yeah, all of a sudden Friday will kind of get a little higher, a little higher.
Yeah.
Thunder tonight.
I'm kind of, going back to what I said Monday, like this is whatever happens, this is just bonus basketball, win or lose. I'm big believer in postseason experience for the young guys, so I'm happy whatever happens because they're going to get that experience, even though it's a one-game scenario. But yeah, I'm excited.
All right, so we'll talk about that in the middle of the show. Major League Baseball the first couple of weeks. We'll hit that at the end. I don't know if the Orioles are dominating in the standings, but I can tell you where they are dominating.
Oh, you can?
I can. Have you seen any of their, celebrations?
No.
Dude.
No.
The Orioles are killing it. We'll talk about that.
Oh, good.
Your Rangers pretty good.
Ooh, I had to hold on last night.
My Brewers are off to a hot start. We talked a bunch about pace of play and how, what that's affecting. I've got some ratings numbers. See if it's affecting the ratings in a positive way.
Have you seen the other thing it's affecting?
What's that?
In the stadiums?
Beer drinking?
Yeah, they're extending the sales. The games are going so fast. We'll go ahead and extend beer sales through the eighth inning.
Yeah, it turns out maybe you can get one in the eighth now.
They're not cutting it off in the seventh. That is pretty cool.
All right, so we got that. NBA playoffs, talk about last night's game, look ahead to the Thunder this evening. Our Tucker Family Beefs of the Week, it is a Wednesday, so we'll have a Tucker Family Beef of the Week, and then also some spring sports stuff from yesterday as District 4 and Class 4A on the baseball field anyway begins to start to kind of – the picture becomes more clear. 225-9698 is the phone or the text line. That's 225-9698. Give us a call, shoot us a text. We can talk about any of those things. Whatever else might be on your mind, feel free to chime in at 225-9698. If you're outside the listening area, stay in touch with the show a couple of ways. Log on to kadsam.com, download the app. The app's got it all. It's got radio. It's got the Penny News. Brand new edition of the Penny News hit the website last night at midnight at thepennynews.com. Big Elk and Paragon TV on there as well when those things are rolling. Skinny on Sports Podcast, iTunes, kadsam.com, Spotify, Amazon Music. It's everywhere. If you miss the show entirely, you can go back and find it at your favorite spot to go stream podcasts. It's funny to go back and look at the text line today, Jared. as we're finally receiving the text that people were firing at us yesterday. It's funny to go back and look at those, because we were not able to receive them yesterday. My favorite is at 9:12. Just letting you know, show not coming through on the radio or the app. Yeah, we had no idea.
I think we had an idea, but we did a show anyways, and you can go back and listen
and you
to
can podcast it
on the podcast.
That's right. Record it.
Still did a show.
For your listening pleasure.
Yep.
So how are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing? A little tired. Stayed up for that game last night.
Yeah, that's the one thing you forget about with the Thunder not being very good at basketball. Those nights, because they're in the Western Conference, they get pretty late nights in the playoffs because, there's double headers. The East starts earlier. The West, you get those 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30 tips. Forget about the sleep deprivation that comes along with the playoff games, but it's well worth it. Are you going to go up to if they lose tonight, you're going to be at the airport to welcome them home?
No, because I live almost 2 hours away, Aaron. Kidding me?
So
No.
that tells me you're not thundered up to a 10.
Well, I've never done that. I've never done that. For the main reason it's 2 hours away, or hour and 45.
Would you consider it if they were flying back with an NBA championship?
No, but I would consider going to the
parade?
parade. I would consider that, sure. But nah, I'm not going to go to the airport at 2 a.m. to scream. I'm not going to do it. I'm 39.
What if Katie was like, "Oh, I heard about this thing at the airport.
You got school tomorrow,
Let's
Katie.
go." Not if they win the NBA championship. She wouldn't.
They're going to cancel school?
It's
it'd be
in
the summer.
June.
It'd be the
Yeah.
summer, yeah. Well, I got work tomorrow, Katie. Sorry.
Well, that's
Got to be
unfortunate.
the adult here.
That's unfortunate. All right, so the baseball yesterday in Class 4A District 4. The Elks completed the sweep of Clinton 16-0, with just that series looming against Weatherford next week. The Elks are also plus 100 in the run differential. That means they've been able to amass a 10-run differential in each and every district game. At 10-0 plus 100, do the math. 10 times 10 is 100. So it's hard to be better than what Elk City has been. Weatherford's been close, but not quite there. They won 10-0 at Kingfisher. That game started. They played a half inning on Monday before the rain and the hail moved through there at Kingfisher. And so they played yesterday in game 1. They'll play again today for game 2. Weatherford right now plus 78 in the run differential. They had a four-run win against Woodward, 8-4 back in March, and then last week against Clinton, one of their games was only a 4-run win at 9-5. So that's where the differential comes with Elk City plus 100. Weatherford can be plus 88 if they get a 10-run win with the run rule tonight against Kingfisher. But what does that tell you for next week? That tells you a split earns Elk City the district title. They go in plus 12. Run differential if Weatherford gets the full 10 runs today. You win by, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You win by a run, you're plus 13. You can only get 10 each game. So the Elks in great shape to win back-to-back district titles, although we all know that a sweep is what they want to do and finish that thing off 12-0 within the district. So, but depending on what happens today with Weatherford, both teams, well, no matter what happens today with Weatherford, both Elk City and Weatherford will still be alive to win the district. No matter, even if the Eagles were to lose to Kingfisher, they can still sweep Elk City next week and earn that district title. So it makes no difference. It does in some ways, but at least as far as having a chance to win next week, both teams will have that chance. Now you see with Elk City's win against Clinton, Kingfisher. With 3 losses, they're out. So what you're going to end up seeing next week is a battle for first and a battle for third with Kingfisher and Clinton playing next week in their 2-game series. You know, whether or not Clinton will have to sweep or then of course their run differentials will matter as well. But as of right now, Kingfisher's a loss ahead of Clinton, but they still have that game to play today. So clarity has finally come a little bit here to District 4 as we've been waiting on these series to happen since the district started back in March.
Just, I like it when district and all that was just decided by wins, not all the run differentials and all that stuff. So,
well, I mean, those are just tie breaks. It's all
right.
That is.
Yeah, but Elk City just keeps doing what they're doing and winning big, and now everything will just take care of itself. It looks like that's the route it's going, and another big win for them last night, and I don't expect anything less next week either.
So you got District 4 will be that way with the series next week to decide the champ. District 2 is going to be that way as well with Blanchard and Chickasha meeting next week for their 2-game series to finish things out. Blanchard missed somebody because they are 10-0. But those two teams play next week, so that'll decide that one, which could affect eventually what we see. Oh, they've got Class and SAS. Well, you can go ahead and put 2 10-run wins down there. So the Chickasha Blanchard series will be next week, early next week as well. So there's it's fun when it comes down to the end like this, right, where you get to see the teams at the top play each other and they know what's on the line for both sides in both of those districts. So it's going to be fun to watch next week as we get ready for the playoffs. We mentioned that Class A and B baseball, they had their district pairings announced this week. So they're gearing up for that to start next week, and then the slow pitch softball as well. It's amazing how fast it goes in the spring, right? It feels like we just walked out of the big house, and now here we are getting ready for playoff spring sports already. It just flies.
It really does. It really does. It's like once we catch our breath, and then boom, here it is. But yeah, a lot of success. Potential success out here in western Oklahoma with, well, you just mentioned Elk City Elks got small school baseball playing good around the area. Slow pitch as well. I mean, highly ranked teams. So keep an eye on that. There could be a lot of hardware coming this way by mid-May.
Yeah, let's see. It's on the baseball side. Canute's number 2. Hollis is number 8, which I would say those rankings are – seeing the pairings, then they're getting pretty close to those top 8 would be hosts, right? Regional hosts.
I assume so. I believe
because you get 8 teams in the state tournament, and
right.
then in the spring you have to win your regional, right? In the fall you get 2, but in the spring don't you have to win your regional? I believe you do.
I believe you are correct.
So it looks like Hollis and Canute would both be hosts of regionals. Granite's number 8, Visai number 9, Leedy number 11. So that means Granite would be a host. Boy, that you could possibly see some of those teams together in a potential regional situation. With Sentinel down at 18 as well on the baseball side. Slow pitch side, I know Canute, Shattuck have been battling up toward the top of, God, what is that now? Are they 2A?
2A.
Yeah, 2A. Arapahoe Butler number 5, Navajo number 9. Right there in the 2A mix. Hydro Weekly, number 9, and 3A. See, Merritt and I think Hobart. Those teams are 4A on the slow pitch side. Hammond's number 3 in Class A. They beat Class B number 3 Leedy last night pretty good, 13-3. And then Arnett's in Class B. Keep Sickles all ranked in the top 5. Mountain View Gotebo down there at number 12. Visai number 12 and A. So you're right. There's a ton of teams littered throughout. Yeah, spring had to win regional. I was pretty sure that was right, just because of the amount of teams that play in the spring versus in the fall.
Right.
So it's all gearing up, man. Next week, it'll be everything will start counting, and it'll be a march for a couple weeks towards state tournaments in slow pitch and in baseball. Crazy to think we're already there.
It's gonna be fun.
All right, Jared, it is time for this week's Tucker Family Beef of the Week. You may be out there asking, what do you mean? What is Tucker Family Beef? Well, I'll tell you what it is.
First off, welcome to the show, because we love talking about Tucker Family Beef.
Yeah.
If you don't know by now,
Yeah,
you must be new.
If this is your first time, welcome. I'm Aaron. That's Jared.
Let's tell you about Tucker Family Beef.
Tucker Family Beef is locally born, raised, fed, and processed prime American beef from right out here, Sunny Point, Oklahoma. If you don't know where that's at, it's just a little bit west and a little bit north of here, toward the Texas border, toward Sweetwater. The Tucker family's been out there. See, Granny T turned 100 this year. I actually went to her 100th birthday.
Wow.
It was pretty amazing to see some of the – they had this poster board up, and it showed kind of the stats of what certain things cost when Granny T was born versus now, and different things like that. Granny T made an appearance on what is it? What's the morning show on Channel 4 with Al Roker?
The Today Show?
The Today Show. She made an appearance on the Today Show that day when she turned 100.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah. So they've been there a while. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Monty, Tommy, Nelda, Danielle, everybody out at Tucker Family Beef. It is phenomenal. We both have enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed a leftover ribeye last night that I made into a taco.
That's a good idea.
It's best taco that you can possibly imagine. If you don't believe us, you can browse the internet to look at what this beef looks like with the marbling. TuckerFamilyBeef.com. They've got a Facebook page as well. There's a couple of different ways to order it, to purchase it. You can purchase individual cuts. So if you just want to try a steak, you can try a steak. A lot of people that do what they do, you cannot do that, but they do. They have the USDA approval. Went through that process to be able to sell individual cuts of that prime beef. If you kind of like that and you're thinking, man, I want a little bit more, you can get the bundles, which is kind of a mixture of the different cuts. And once you figure out, boy, I like everything they got in this, I want more at a time, that's when you go to the bulk beef. You can order a half, a quarter, a whole. That's what we do. And you end up getting that in your freezer, the best beef you can have for the cheapest price you could possibly get it at. And once you go that route, I know Monty had seen that they've got some available here in April that could be in your freezer by May 1st. What a perfect way to grill out on a Memorial Day at the end of May. And way before that, if we're being honest.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to wait that long.
Nah.
You're going to want to, as soon as you get it, you see it, you're going to want to slap it on the grill or however you prepare your meat. It is fantastic.
Yep, TuckerFamilyBeef.com. You can actually order through their website, or you can give Monty a call, 580-374-5444. What is your Tucker Family Beef this week, Jared Atha?
I get to go first because I had a feeling you might get this one too. A few months ago, NFL announced that they have partnered or changed their partnership from DirecTV to YouTube TV for their NFL Sunday ticket package. And if you don't know what that is, you can buy this package and you can watch any game, out of market, in market. You can watch every NFL game, whatever game you want. Well, the prices have been released from YouTube TV, and I had a feeling it was going to be high. You know, a lot of people subscribe to DirecTV because you got that NFL ticket for free the first year, and then you paid for it later. I don't even know what it cost after that. But YouTube TV, I think a lot of people assumed it's going to be the same way. You subscribe to YouTube TV, get it free for the first year. Nah, not the case. The price model has been released, and it is a punch in the average Joe's gut. Or wallet, I should say. Because any average Joe would have to take a big chunk out of their paycheck just to pay for this. It's ridiculous. It goes as follows. YouTube TV subscribers. If you're a subscriber, it's $349 per season. But if you want the Red Zone channel with it, it's $389 bundled with the Red Zone. If you're a non-YouTube TV subscriber. So, I subscribe to Hulu TV, and I don't want to get another TV streaming service, but I just want the Red Zone or the Sunday ticket. There is an option for that. $449 for the entire season. $489 if you want the Red Zone channel. I'm not doing that. I can watch the highlights later. I can catch the game of the weeks on Thursday night and Sunday. Of course, we live in our team's market, so we could always catch the Cowboys play. Another game of the week on the Thursday or Sunday afternoon. So I'm not willing to pay that much money. In today's economic climate, I don't think a lot of people are willing to either. But people will, unfortunately. They'll do the last-minute thing and do it. I think it's we talk about a lot of or different products, people not really understanding their clientele or their market. This is clear to me. They don't understand your average Joe. Those who listen to us out there working, doing everything they can to put food on the table. You're asking them to pay that much. I got beef with that. But if you get it before June 6th, you get $100 off, which seems very minimal compared to those prices.
So it looked like, if you compare it back to what it was on DirecTV.
Yeah, full disclosure, I didn't even look at what those prices were. I know a lot of people that would get DirecTV just to get that Sunday ticket for that first year, and then they didn't re-up it the next year. But what is it? Tell me about it.
It was, and I'm not sure if this was a subscriber price or a non-subscriber price, but it was, if you did the early thing and the $100 off, it was $60 more a year. If you waited, it was $160 more a year.
Than these prices?
No. These prices are that much more than DirecTV.
Gotcha.
So if you've had it, but I'm not sure if that is a subscriber or a non-subscriber. I would assume it would almost have to be a subscriber because there wasn't really a non-subscriber price for before, right? You had to have DirecTV in order to access the Red Zone channel.
That dish slapped on the side of your house. Yeah, you had to have it. And I see why the NFL's moved to the streaming services because of the non-subscribe. I mean, that's an idea. I like that idea, but I don't like the price. My goodness. I'm not willing to put out almost $500 for this. I mean, I'm a fan, but I'm not that big of a fan.
So it ends up being, what, $489?
$489
if you don't subscribe?
If you're a non-TV subscriber, non-YouTube TV subscriber, but that gets you the Red Zone channel too. Which, by the way, if I pay a little extra on Hulu TV, I can get the Red Zone channel.
And Red, honestly, as far as the Sunday ticket goes, the Red Zone channel is the best part of it.
Well, that's what I was telling my buddies. I said, give me the Cowboys, and when they're not playing, give me the Red Zone channel.
All these discounted prices end on June the 6th. Also, YouTube, you know what else YouTube TV did? They raised their monthly rate $8 as well.
Of course they did.
But
I got beef with all that.
So you can.
I want to know from our texters or from our listeners. Text in. Would you pay that? Why would you? Why wouldn't you? I want to. Am I wrong here?
Everybody will because it's the NFL.
It's the NFL.
It's like the one thing
they know
that
what
is.
They know what they got, and they're going to put whatever price they want on it, and people will pay at the nose for it.
It is. The NFL is like the one thing that is like inflation proof. No matter what they do, no matter how the prices keep on going up, people continue to pay for it. It's just that
people will grumble about it, but they're still going to enter their credit card number.
The demand for the NFL is so large; it's just amazing.
Well, I can think of a ton of things to throw $489 towards,
and that's not one of them. How much is it to get the Red Zone channel on Hulu?
You get like a sports package, and I'd have to go back and look, but you get it, and it's like an extra $20 or $25 a month, but you can cut back at any time. You're not tied into it. So if I subscribe to it during the NFL season, and then when it's over, when the Red Zone channel is over, I just take it away.
Yeah, so it's $100.
I haven't done it, but I'm really considering that just for the reasons like if I could always watch Dallas, obviously, and then those game of the weeks. It's usually what somebody like the Packers. There's a meaning. There's a reason why that's a game of the week, like on that Sunday afternoon. I usually, whatever game it is, I'm watching that, and then of course Sunday night.
Yeah.
But I don't need to have access to every game and start channel surfing. That's what Red Zone channel's for.
Yeah, a lot of times it's for people that live somewhere that their team isn't the market team.
See, now from the text line, get your buddies together and split it. Okay, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with YouTube TV. Can multiple people sign in? I mean, we got password crackdown from Netflix. Is that gonna? I think that's gonna have a trickle effect across all streaming services. They're gonna try to crack down on. I know Hulu. You can't watch. I can't watch Hulu here on my TV because it tells me you're not at home based on your IP address.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I can.
Well, it's weird. I can't on my Roku TV, but I can on my desktop or phone or iPad.
Yeah.
It's weird. But at home, I can watch on unlimited screens. So I don't know about Dish either. I don't know. From the text line, is Red Zone leaving Dish? I don't know. Dish TV.
I think so. I think it's. Let's see. That's what I was wondering if you're going to have that option on Hulu again.
I'm going to go ahead and Google it up.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
As I was thinking, it was exclusive to the YouTube TV.
Well, in that sense, you'd think it would be exclusive to only DirecTV, but it was
That's true.
Not necessarily, because it was on Dish and was on Yeah.
There you go. There's Blake. It was $69 to add it way back when.
That's it?
$69 to add it to my Direct TV package when it came out. $259 add-on.
And to be clear, Blake, I'm not complaining about my pay.
I
just want to be clear about that.
Yeah, he is. He certainly is.
But $500, it's just, I'd rather buy softball gear for my kids or, food for my family.
But that answers the question, though. $259 on Direct versus what was it, $289 on YouTube? So that's subscriber. The what I read as far as the increase once you put on the other $40 for Red Zone channel. My beef is going to be with two individuals who we've had to listen to over the past handful of years complain and complain and complain about a certain topic. And now all that complaining has gone by the wayside because of their actions and their pursuit of the almighty dollar to stay relevant. Do you know who these two people are?
No.
They're a couple. They're a married couple.
They're a married couple?
They are.
I don't know.
Sue Bird
Oh.
and Megan Rapinoe.
They're married?
They're married.
I didn't realize that.
Both of which have lectured us over and over, especially Megan Rapinoe, have lectured us over the inequity of pay between male and female athletes.
Right.
For how long have we had to listen to this stuff?
Well, I've stopped listening, so I don't know.
So that's gone on for a while. They have amassed a net worth to combined of $15 million between the two of them. But just this week, Jared, did you see what they signed on to?
What?
They signed on to a document supporting transgender availability in women's sports. So all of this unequal pay crap we've had to listen to all these years from Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird, they have now gone against everything they stood for in order to stay relevant and continue what gravy train there is. So in essence, Jared, after fighting for equal pay in sports for women, they have now taken the man's side.
Do you think they realize that?
No, they don't realize that. Or if they do, they don't care because this is a way to stay relevant and continue to earn money from their elitist masters. It was never about equal pay for women. It was about them gaming the system. They're grifters. They always have been, and they always will be, and this is a perfect example of that being the case. Because if they truly believed and truly cared about the inequities in pay of women's sports, they would never sign on to let men play with the women. Because let me ask you this. What's going to happen when one of these dudes gets out there playing for the women's national soccer team and starts dominating, who's going to earn the money, Jared? The man who's pretending to be a woman. He's going to be the one that gets. And if you don't believe me, look at what Bud Light has just done. And Nike. Nike's whole women's department of athletic wear is centered around a dude pretending to be a 13-year-old girl. And Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird have fallen right in line after all these years. It's sickening, the hypocrisy that they display.
It was predictable, too, right?
It was 100% predictable. Yeah. That's why it almost felt like, cherry picking. It was too easy.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I looked it up.
Yeah.
Just an extra $10 a month for the Red Zone channel on Hulu.
On Hulu?
Just an extra $10. And you get like FanDuel TV, outdoor TV, but the main caveat here is Red Zone, just extra $10.
Man, that ain't bad.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back on a Tucker Family Beef Wednesday. I have an idea of perfection. The perfect swing of the club or bat, the perfect form on the free throw line, that perfectly placed spiral football, and especially those perfect grill marks on a high-quality cut of locally sourced prime beef. It takes lots of time to perfect quality, but a quick, simple call or message to Tucker Family Beef can put locally born, raised, fed, and processed beef in your family's freezer so you can practice and perfect those satisfying grill marks. Give Monty Tucker a call at Tucker Family Beef, 580-515-4477.
The Skinny on Sports.
You can't say on the air.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
Welcome back on the Tucker Family Beef Wednesday. Skinny on Sports right here on 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal. So last night, Jared, play-in games, night one. We have two teams that have punched their ticket into the playoffs, Trae Young and the Hawks. I think a lot of people would call that an upset of Miami. In Miami, 116-105. So the Atlanta Hawks move on to face the Boston Celtics as the 7th seed versus the 2 in the East. And then last night, the nightcap, the Lakers come back from 11 points down at halftime. They end up winning in overtime, 108-102 over Minnesota. So the Lakers will play Memphis as the 7th seed against the 2 seed in the West. Not surprisingly, because I think this conspiracy, and maybe it's not a conspiracy because if you look at the results, it's just the truth. But second half, LA shot second half in overtime, LA shot 17 free throws. The Timberwolves shot 3. LA was called for 10 fouls versus Minnesota's 20. Those things seem to happen for the Lakers a lot.
Don't it?
That don't seem to happen. But if you're Minnesota, Anthony Edwards cannot play the way he did and expect to win, 3 of 14 from the field, or 3 of 17, actually, 3 of 17 from the field from one of your young stars. That cannot happen if you're going to go on the road and win at the Lakers. So Lakers and Hawks move on. That means Minnesota and Miami are awaiting their next opponent on Friday, and we'll learn who those are tonight as Chicago heads to Toronto. DeMar DeRozan back up north as a member of the Bulls against a former team of the Raptors. But the one that we're worried about, Jared, is the Thunder at the Pelicans. These two teams played 4 times this season. New Orleans was 3-1 against Oklahoma City. All close games, but if you kind of look into what happened in those games, the Pelicans led by 13 at one point in the 105-101 win, the first game. Led by 21 before that game went to overtime. They led by 20 in another 3-point win. So they beat the Thunder by 3 twice and 4 once, but they had huge leads in a lot of those games that Oklahoma City clawed their way back and couldn't finish. The Thunder's win was 110-96. For you, what are keys tonight for Oklahoma City if they want to move on and have a chance to earn that 8th seed on Friday?
Well, as the playoffs go, your stars need to shine. Of course, we're talking about SGA, Giddey, Williams. They need to step up and, like I said, just be big and shine in a big game, and to give themselves a chance. Also, and this is going to kind of go into our next question, but they need to control the pace and capitalize on fast break points and not allow New Orleans. They got a top 5, top 6 defense in the league. especially in the half-court set. So if you can get quick on them without letting their defense get set, that's key for me too.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point because Oklahoma City has played at one of the faster paces, top 3 or 4 fastest pace in the league versus New Orleans more in the middle. And one would assume as the playoffs roll around and even get deeper into the playoffs, that pace has a way of slowing down. And that would seem to be an advantage for New Orleans versus an advantage for OKC if that pace does slow down. We saw it last night. You mentioned it off the air. It was a close game. The Lakers-Minnesota was close, but it wasn't a very fun game. It wasn't very watchable because it was just such a battle. And I think that's, to me, the key of the game is, Shea's had his moments in the playoffs. He's played in playoff games. Lou Dort has played in the bubble. But, Shea, nobody else really has played in a playoff game like they're going to see tonight. Even the bubble, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
Right. Shea was in the playoffs with the Clippers his rookie year before that trade happened. So he's experienced road playoff games, but essentially nobody else has outside of, I guess, Dario Saric. But so it's going to be a completely different atmosphere than any of the Thunder has ever really been in. And so how they handle that, I think, is such a huge key. Because
another key, just to add to my list, and I meant to write this down, was take the crowd out of it. Get a hot start, go fast, get quick, get a couple buckets early, get their fans out of it a little bit, and then see what happens. But
yeah, it's an interesting place too, because New Orleans, what is the crowd going to be like? I don't know if it's one of those vaunted places to walk into, but they're also in the same boat with a young team that looks, promising. So maybe they turn out. Is it
still called the Smoothie King Center?
Yes, the Smoothie King.
Nothing about that scares me.
No, not really. I mean,
let's go to the Smoothie King Center, kids.
Yeah, that's not not overly worrisome, but
yay, smoothies.
There will be a bunch of that'll happen. The one thing that would concern me is if you look back through these games, I would say that they've got Zion, Ingram, and C.J. McCollum, kind of the three-headed monster that lead the Pelicans. Only one of those games that they have multiple of those top three. Zion played in the first game. Think about this. Zion Williamson was on the floor for the Pelicans, and Oklahoma City was starting Poku and JRE in that first game. So the teams have changed a lot.
Yeah. I was going back, look at those. The starting lineups have changed a lot. There's been a time where Thunder, they've solidified a starting lineup, but due to injury here or there or whatever, they've changed it. And I'll get to that too coming up.
Concerns for me, and I don't understand why this guy, Willie Green, does not play this guy much, but he hasn't had a giant impact on the game, which it looks like he should with the matchups. But Jonas Valanciunas only averaged 11 a game against the Thunder this year in 4 games, played in all of them, only averaged 11. But who in the world do the Thunder have to guard that monster right now? So it seems like if you go small, he immediately comes off the floor. I wonder if Willie Green kind of looks at that and says, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's punish them inside with this guy because he is a monster of which the Thunder cannot mess with. They just don't have the personnel to mess with him down low. And offensive rebounds could become a huge part of this game if Valanciunas is allowed to play. Because if he is allowed to play, he is going to get a bunch of rebounds. I think he had 18 and 20 minutes the other day in their last regular season game. Thunder have nobody. Arkansas Williams is not near big enough to mess with Jonas Valanciunas. But I guess the liability on the other end causes Willie Green to take him off the floor. So we'll see about that. Another one, Ingram only played once, and he had 34. Who guards him? And who guards him without getting in foul trouble? Because the thing about the Thunder right now, they are so lacking in depth with Kenrich Williams out that really it's just one guy. But, man, it makes a massive difference with the perimeter defense. Somebody's got to guard McCollum. Somebody's got to guard Ingram. I would assume you would probably start with Dort on McCollum, J-Dub on Ingram, and see how it goes. You might want to switch those if Ingram gets off to a hot start. You got to put Dort on him. even though there's a pretty big size advantage. If you haven't seen Ingram much, which, it's kind of weird that both teams' star players were both drafted by L.A. teams and now have moved to these small markets in trades, with Ingram drafted by the Lakers, going to New Orleans in the Anthony Davis trade, and obviously SGA coming over to Oklahoma City in the Paul George trade. But if you haven't seen Ingram, he's going to remind you of somebody. And he's going to remind you of somebody that was once near and dear to the hearts of Thunder fans. He is like a poor man's Kevin Durant. He's tall, he's lanky, he can handle it, he can shoot it from the outside, he can get to the – he reminds you of KD. And what was the one thing that was true about Durant and still is true? He can be unguardable.
Oh, right.
He can absolutely be unguardable because of his size.
Off-court opinions about him, but go ahead.
No, he can be, and so that's if you think about concerns. If Ingram gets rolling, the Thunder have nobody that can stop him, personnel wise.
Right.
So and I don't know if the same thing can be said the other way. What else for you in this matchup kind of interests you, or what are you going to be looking for tonight?
Well, potential Rookie of the Year, Williams. How does he affect this game? I don't really look at that last game they've played, because if you look at who New Orleans threw out there in that game that the Thunder won, they didn't really play anybody. But in the 3 games before that, all losses, single-digit losses, and you noted that. Williams, he went for 8 points, 11 points, and 22 points. And he's gotten better ever since December, right? Ever since he's been injected into the starting lineup on a regular basis, he's gotten comfortable. We've seen it. I don't need to talk too much about it. So, interested to see how much of a factor, because SGA will get his. He's going to get his. He's averaged around 34. What I was going to say against New Orleans.
Yeah, 34.
Against New Orleans?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he'll get his, but, and then I would also like to see what Giddey does. But it's Williams I'm looking at. This is a different animal. This isn't a regular season game. This is postseason. There's going to be that, losers done. So there's going to be that almost a Game 7 feel, I would think.
Yeah, I mean,
so I want to see how Williams, the rookie, reacts to that, and can he continue to play very well, which he has, and could that be the difference? I don't know.
It's something a little bit different than the last time the Thunder were in the playoffs, this play-in, because it is more of an NCAA tournament feel than what a series, because a lot of times, Thunder fans are used to, okay, game 1 is game 1, then you adjust, either in a loss or a win, whatever. That's not the way this is tonight, man. It's a one shot. So it's way more NCAA tournament feel than what it normally has been playoff-wise. Shea did average 34 a game, but he only shot 46% and really 45.7 to do it, which is well under his season average, over 50%. So Herb Jones is getting a lot of credit for being able to fluster Shea. I have a bad feeling that he's going to and I don't mind when the star puts it on their shoulders, right?
Yeah.
You get it. But at the same time, I would like to see Shea be more of a facilitator early to get everybody involved, as opposed to just trying to take the game over right from the tip.
Right.
There is a time, and there will come a time tonight
when you need to
where it's
close it
Shea
out,
time.
Or, hit a 3 to
That's right.
at the buzzer. Stuff like,
There is a Shea time in this game. There will be. But I hope it's not throughout the entirety of the 48 minutes. I hope that he gets guys, because it does seem like the Thunder is at their best when he's getting downhill, getting to the rim, but also creating opportunities for everybody else. You get Isaiah Joe knocking down a 3, you get Jay Will hitting a 3, or J Dub dunking. All those things. I'm interested to see how he comes out and what his mindset will be. You don't want him to be too passive and look back and go, gosh, Jay, why didn't you take over? But at the same time, just think Russell Westbrook. There was times where it was like, dude, stop it.
Right.
And I hope it doesn't kind of morph into that. I think the X factor in the entire game is one guy, and that is Lou Dort. And that is Lou Dort shooting, because he's going to jack it up. He is, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully we get bubble Game 7 Lou Dort, who as a rookie went for 30 in that Game 7 loss to Houston, knocked down 6 of 12 from 3. I'd rather see him not shoot 12. It'd be nice to see him make 6. But this is not a game where we look back tomorrow and we come in here and Lou Dort's gone 1 for 8 from behind the arc. It's just not that. That is something that I don't think the Thunder can overcome in this game in order to win it. Lou Dort either has to realize if he starts out 0 for 3, okay, I'll take maybe the next wide open one and then get to the bucket or quit shooting. I just don't. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like you could just see it coming. Like, golly, would he quit shooting those threes because he's not making them? Maybe let Isaiah Joe try it. So, what about you? What do you think? Maybe an X factor.
Well, I mentioned I think I let the cat out of the bag too early. It's Will, J-Dub, and just his scoring and seeing how he, like all I said earlier, he's gradually gotten better each time he's played New Orleans. I throw out that last game, like I said, and I want to see how he can complement SGA. Giddey too, but my X factor is Williams, the rookie.
Who wins?
I really thought hard about this, and I'm a big numbers guy. I've said that over and over. I like stats. Did you know I'm looking at the season comparison, not head-to-head comparison, just season comparison up to this point? And the Thunder are better than New Orleans in all the major categories except 2, which, I mean, that just screams to me, okay, then the Thunder should have the advantage, but then you look at the head-to-head, and they've only won in 3 against them. And this is, everything's against the Thunder being down in New Orleans. It doesn't feel right for the Thunder, but they're 5.5 dogs. I'm leaning towards them. Maybe I should say my Thunder excitement's at an 8 because I'm favoring them, but I'm leaning towards them because I think that SGA has a big night, and I think New Orleans. They got a lot of great pieces. I wonder with the lack of Zion if that does something. So I will say, the Thunder by like 2 or 3. It's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, I think it'll be a different game than we're used to seeing. I think it'll be a lot more physical. Shea averaged 12 free throws a game in the regular season. I'd be shocked if he gets that many just because I don't think the whistle's going to blow like that. And that kind of takes Giddey if he can't maneuver in the paint, if there's contact knocking him off his spots, and how do the young guys play through that in their first attempt in this situation? I think it's going to be a heck of a good thing for them moving forward. I just can't see Oklahoma City winning this game. It feels like a bad matchup to me. You'd much rather seen Minnesota, even though they've got Cat and the big guys. That New Orleans just feels like a more grown-up team than Minnesota. With McCollum, with Ingram kind of coming into his own, Valanciunas, and they just feel like this is going to be a game that the Thunder, right there, just can't get over the top and end up learning a lot, having a heck of a season. But I think the Thunder run ins this evening, unfortunately, with New Orleans. Maybe following the same script, kind of getting ahead. The Thunder battle back, and then just can't quite get over the hump to end up winning this game.
All right.
But it's amazing that we're having one.
Yeah.
Where everybody thought Oklahoma City was going to be going into the year. You actually get, Wyatt, wore his SGA jersey to school today, baby.
There you go.
He's thundered up.
I like it.
Is everybody else thundered up? Text us 225-9698. Are you ready to roll tonight with Oklahoma City and New Orleans? We'll be back to end it next.
The Skinny on Sports.
This is one of the most awesome experiences of my life because I'm getting in trouble right now. I can't believe it.
What was that one?
That's when Ricky Bobby first gets to drive the race car.
Okay.
And he's I'm driving a race car.
I was like, what is it?
A lot of great quotes from that.
I thought maybe it was like the remix. Something was scratched or something.
I couldn't help myself. I was grabbing one quote, and I remember that. Oh, that's a funny scene, too. Anyways.
Welcome back. Skinny on Sports.
You don't even want to know what I do in my free time around here.
Well.
Stuff like that.
Tell us, Jared.
Make liners and stuff like that. Try to get creative.
It's a Tucker Family Beef Wednesday. Thank you to Monty and the gang at Tucker Family Beef. By the way, speaking of them, state shooting today.
That's right.
Bunch of local talent going. I would be shocked if a gold ball or is it a gold shotgun or a gold
clay pigeon?
Clay pigeon.
I don't
yeah.
know.
What do they earn?
I would like to see a pretty creative trophy for that, not just a plaque or.
I'll bet you somebody brings that
ribbon.
Baby home.
Oh,
as
yeah.
a team, as an individual, somebody from around here will be at the top of that heap.
Yeah.
Speaking of top of the heap, Jared, have you seen the Baltimore Orioles celebrations?
I've seen some banter on social media. I haven't seen them.
Okay,
exactly,
so I think it was, what is today, Wednesday? So Monday, I saw that they have a Homer hose is what the players are going to call it.
Okay.
The first name for it, I don't know if I can. Oof.
Careful.
Okay, do you know like a dinger for a home run?
Yeah.
Or dong for a home run?
Okay.
They were calling it the dong bong. And what it is, it's like literally a beer funnel.
Okay.
But they put water, and they don't smash beers in the.
They put Gatorade in there.
They
or
put
something.
water. It's water.
Water.
Yeah. It's the Homer hose is what they wanted to call.
It's like that would be more appropriate in Milwaukee.
Well,
the
yeah.
Brewers
The Brewers probably take it over and start smashing the beast, the old Milwaukee's. But anyhow, so they have that, and then yesterday, I saw one of their players hit a double. He gets on second base and he does the sprinkler, and then they pan to the dugout. And they got like four guys like blowing water like the sprinkler head out from the dugout onto the field.
That's good.
Orioles dominating the celebration category so far in the Major League Baseball season. How about your Rangers? There,
A fun game.
Got
last
off to
night.
a nice start.
Yeah. What are they?
7-4.
7-4. No, they won 7-5 last night. Off that walk-off. Yeah, I mean, listen.
Oh, I thought they went 14-9 last night.
No, that was the night before.
Okay.
That was when Heaney went nuts on the mound. They had DeGrom last night. He got the no decision, though, because they gave up a run late to tie it up. And actually, Kansas City took a lead in the top of the 10th.
Yeah.
Or 9th,
That's
10th,
right.
and then Rangers battled back, tied it, and got a walk-off. But I keep going to the bullpen, or not the bullpen, the rotation. Bullpen, too. Pitching. And that's always been the bugaboo in this horrid times of being a Ranger fan is pitching. And it seems like since they made changes in the front office, they aggressively went and got some pitching. DeGrom mainly, Heaney, and Gray. They got him last year. I mean, they're kind of shoring up that rotation. And if they could have outings like they got from Heaney yesterday, DeGrom's going to give you a better effort more often than not. The bats should be fine. Should be a fun year. It's going to be interesting in the West. I mean, you got Houston with the losing record at 5-7. They too lost by walk-off fashion last night. But it's still early. We're midway through April.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's played 12 games.
So I'm not buying my World Series tickets by any means, but it's nice to see a nice start as opposed to a sluggish start and play catch-up their entire season.
Yeah,
So we'll see if they can maintain it, and they got to stay healthy. I think Semien went out last night with a hamstring issue, but those are the wears and tears of baseball. But it's nice. It's nice they're winning.
Tampa Bay 11-0 after another win against the Red Sox, I think 7-2 last night. All but one of those wins have been by 4 runs or more. They're creeping up on the all-time record to start a season. My Brewers 8-3. We got another win last night in Arizona behind Corbin Burns. Pace of play. It's been a huge topic. I know in the games that I've been able to watch, it's clear that the game moves faster. And everybody, like Jim said, it's a clock. So, the umpires can't start to fudge this thing because that clock is running every single pitch. And so it's going to continue. But how – we've kind of got some ratings here early on. So how has that affected? And can we just automatically contribute it to the pitch clock? I don't know that that's the case, but I will tell you this. At least in the opening weekend or so, things look really good for Major League Baseball from a ratings perspective. So MLB.TV, which is kind of the streaming, on opening day, 172 million minutes watched, which was up 42% from 121 last year. Fox's season opening doubleheader averaged 2.2 million, up 10% from last year. ESPN opening weekend averaged 1.6 million, which is up 11% from last year. Phillies Rangers Sunday night, the first Sunday night, averaged 1.5 million, up 4% from last year. And then also ESPN2, they had the K-Rod cast, which was
kind of like a Peyton Manning.
That's exactly what it was.
Cast.
Yeah, like a Manning cast for baseball. They added 245,000 viewers, which was 15.7% of the overall audience addition. That's higher than any of Peyton and Eli's numbers on Monday Night Football.
Wow.
So things appear to be at least early. Maybe people are checking it out, seeing if they can notice. You know, it's hard to contribute it all to the pitch clock and the way the game is moving. But at least the early returns are really good from a TV perspective and the ratings and everything that's been going on online as well. So far so good for baseball, and we'll see if it carries. It continues to carry.
The thing is, it's early. You know, using the World Baseball Classic, or is that
Yeah, maybe some momentum off of that.
Momentum off of that, springboarding off of that, and then just the curiosity of, how is this pitch clock thing going to work? People tuning in to watch, and then maybe they're hooked because, man, this game is going pretty quick. We're already in the fourth inning.
Well, and to your point, I mean, now they're selling beers an extra inning because the games are moving so fast.
The real winner there is the fans, but damn, ticket price is too high.
Well, maybe they'll come down when they realize you're not going to be there as long.
Again, Blake, not complaining about my pay or anything.
just continues to do it. That's the theme of the show. Jared complains about pay.
Not at all.
No, it's good stuff so far for baseball, and I think if it was curiosity, like, is this really moving faster? It's obvious it is. So hopefully that continues to get people to go to the park, stay watching, and a lot of fun. A lot of fun so far for baseball. I mentioned my Brewers have the best record in the National League.
You can mention it every time until they don't.
They've got 28 run differential. That's second only behind the undefeated Rays in the major leagues. Good start. Everybody have a great Tucker Family Beef Wednesday here on the Skinny on Sports.
You've been listening to the Skinny on Sports podcast with Aaron Cow. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to get alerts of when the latest podcast is available. Thanks for listening.
That ball is blistered to right. Way back. Goodbye.
I have an idea of perfection. The perfect swing of the club or bat, the perfect form on the free throw line, that perfectly placed spiral football, and especially those perfect grill marks on a high-quality cut of locally sourced prime beef. It takes lots of time to perfect quality, but a quick, simple call or message to Tucker Family Beef can put locally born, raised, fed, and processed beef in your family's freezer so you can practice and perfect those satisfying grill marks. Give Monty Tucker a call at Tucker Family Beef, 580-515-4477.